All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith, and we got Richie joining us today. Rich, how we doing?
Hey, Duke, I'm doing great, man. How's it going? How's your week going?
Oh, can't complain. Another fine day we got today. Another Tuesday night. Just out here getting ready for the weekend, man.
I hear you, man. It's going to be a good weekend with the playoffs starting and bowl season starting.
Yeah. We got all the bowl games going on. I believe there's a bowl game tonight. I'm trying to look that up as we speak. Memphis is taking on West Virginia tonight for the I think it says Schooner's Coffee Frisco Bowl or something. I don't have my I don't have my contacts in, so
Well, you wear contacts? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's West Virginia and Memphis just by the logos as I'm looking at the laptop.
They don't kick off till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's an 8 o'clock Central. Memphis is favored by 5 points. We'll roll through social media today. TJ Finley is going to be part of the Tulane Green Waves. The Green Wave, I believe this is his 6th school.
I was just about to ask you, is that his 5th school or something?
Yeah, it's LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Michigan, now Tulane.
He's like JT Daniels.
Hopefully it works out for him and Tulane. Tulane lost their quarterback. It's this whole transfer portal cycle, and I did find out today that if you can enter the portal up to 5 days after your last game. So if you play in a playoff game, you have 5 days after that to enter your name in the transfer portal.
Wow.
So
I did not know that until just now.
Yeah, so don't be shocked if after some of these bowl games, after the 28th, after the portal is closed, you're going to have people entering the portal.
Do we have a tally on how many people are in the portal right now as far as college football?
Chase Parham put it out the other day. I think at the FBS level, there's somewhere in the ballpark of 28 teams worth of guys.
Jeez.
In the portal.
That's madness.
So I think that with where we're heading to in the portal, I don't know. I think they're going to end up inevitably changing the portal window, which that's fine. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that you can really do to on the back end of it. The portal window is there's over 3,000 kids, so about 20, 25 teams worth of guys in the portal.
That's ridiculous.
I can't believe that it's gotten to this point to where we have so many people that have entered in. Are you shocked by that?
Yeah, I'm really shocked. Every day there's somebody new going into the portal. So, Johnny Smith in the portal. Justice Hayes in the portal. The names that are coming in, that are entering, that are going in is just staggering, and it's shocking to me. And it's like, why are they paying these kids all this money, then they decide to dip?
Well, I think that's why they did um, the NIL deals like the way they did. It's I think that the school's got to get some return on investment, and playing in the Art of Sport LA Bowl is a tough sell to some of these kids.
And the Taco Bell Shark Bowl coming up in I think this weekend.
The Pop Tarts Bowl, although I think they should play.
Right. Do we know? Did we have any like big names opting out?
Not that I've seen
I haven't
that
seen anything.
that are guys that aren't super hurt. That's about the only thing that's the only thing I've pretty much gathered. I think we'll be okay. But yeah, Justice Hayes is he's in the portal. He's looking at Ohio State and Michigan. I think that this is going to be more of a common thing of a bidding war between these two programs, just for the simple fact of this is where we're at. Michigan.
It's college free agency.
Yeah, and there's no contracts. I think you're going to see more of a. I think you're going to see contracts come in. I don't know how the sticking point's going to go. How do I want to say that? Not like a sticking point, but there's got to be a point to where the universities are protected, and then you have the agents on top of that are mom, dad, aunt, and uncle that are trying to go in there and negotiate contracts with these universities, which I think is if that's the way you're going to do it, but I think I would go out and get an actual licensed agent.
Right. No, I agree with you. At least somebody that's well versed in the art of negotiation.
And the biggest thing I think is really, really predatory on some of the sides, because you haven't, I watched Chase Parham talk about this today. He said, the horror stories have not came out yet, as far as, people stealing from the kids yet and signing deals. And there's a couple in court right now that he didn't reference the players' names, but that to where they signed a 25% marketing deal, but in that marketing deal, you got to give up 50% of your NFL earnings, and the kids signed it.
Oh my God!
So
listen to the kid. Read everything.
Well, you got to think that whenever the person is sticking a contract in your face, it's aunt, uncle, family, friend. It's nobody that's, and the age of the kid, they
see those dollar signs, are like poof,
And then so that's what it is. And then going down the social media thing, Jaheim Otis, I believe. I don't know if you have the notes pulled up, but he commits to Colorado.
Let me see that.
Yeah, number one D tackle in the transfer portal. Dion Sanders is building through the portal again.
Sounds like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's staying at Colorado, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't. The only thing that I'm concerned with the Colorado thing is he going to be able to get the long-term deal / extension that he is kind of looking for with Rev.
Well, think about it. They went 4-8 his first year. Now they're 9-3. He has a Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter. They're going to have no choice but to throw the money at him.
Yeah, I think.
Extension.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to back up the Brinks truck for Coach Prime. I just. What? Can you hear me, Richie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, for some reason, my computer it switched screens on me for a second. You got the notes pulled up, right?
Yeah.
Who is next? I believe FSU got a quarterback.
Luke Croman and Heck.
Yeah.
He commits to Mississippi State.
Yes. I think this is a big get for Jeff Lebby. The Van Beveren kid is, he hopped in the portal. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this kid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Van Beveren kid was a starter last year, true freshman, and Davis here wants to know how many tickets and jerseys were sold because of him. Well, that whole conglomerate at Colorado did sell a ton of jerseys, things of that sort. So, yeah, I think they need to back up the Brinks truck, but I'm just interested on how it's going to work with the rev share is my thing. Mississippi State is very interesting because they're not overpaying for players, and they're building their NIL collective. From what I've heard, it's they're building it in a slow build process here because they want to see what's going on with rev share. And I do know for a fact that there are teams committing money they don't have.
Wow, that's going to put them in debt.
So
salary cap is coming, dude. You're going to have a commissioner. You're going to have a salary cap. It's coming.
And me and Carter talked about this yesterday. I don't think you can't cap the free market. That's the problem. Because you like in the NFL, they can't tell Travis Kelce he can't do commercials.
True.
And if they funnel all the marketing money through the collective, then you have another issue on your hands solely. I just think that it's a wild endeavor, and it's something that's I agree with you. I think the pay for play is messed up. I mean, at a certain extent. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, it's not my money. I'm not donating to a collective.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't care either, but I just foresee some guidelines and limitations being put in place.
I think that the more and more the NCAA tries to mess with the money or try to limit the money like they have for years, I think they're going to lose in court.
And then soon the NCAA will dissolve, and you'll just have your own college football league, really.
Yeah, I do think I do think that eventually you're going to have the break off, and I know there's break off deniers there. And I get it. It's totally different and people do not like it. But it's inevitable because nobody can get on the same page. You got people that with the transfer portal and the immediate eligibility, there's people that absolutely hate the transfer portal, and it's just like I understand why you would hate it if you're somebody like Purdue or Mississippi State. The rev share is going to help equal the playing field because you'll have 20 million that gets committed from the university.
Right.
Now, I think that when it comes particularly to some of these other schools like Ole Miss and Ohio State, you guys have to realize that, Caleb Downs isn't in the portal every year. You know what I mean? Like you're not picking up Caleb Downs. You're not picking up Julian Sand. Like
You're
I
not
think,
picking up Quinn Shawn every year.
yeah, or not Hugh Freeze, but Nick Saban doesn't retire every year, so that's what it is. I mean, and then also going down, the Branch brothers have entered the transfer portal as more talent is draining from USC.
That ship is sinking fast out in LA.
I don't know if the ship is sinking as quickly as I don't think the ADs and stuff like that are understanding like they've got to do something with USC.
Like what? What would you do with USC?
I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if them and UCLA left and went back to the or
Pac-12.
went to a different conference, but I don't know if they can turn down that check.
How much are they getting? What's the check? What's that figure?
Oh, I think the Big Ten's paying them roughly like $60 million a year for TV rights.
That's a lot of change.
I think
so. Let's say hypothetically, let's say they leave. Then who does Ohio State bring in, or do you think they bring anybody in?
I don't know how it's gonna shake out because the teams that don't make any logistical sense for in their conference, I guess USC can swing it. In Oregon and Washington, I mean, they all have money; they can swing it. But I just don't think the Stanford and Cal and the ACC are sustainable long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think that the way the Big Ten is set up is funny to me because of how they do the rev share and all that stuff like that. I feel like we're getting to the point to where part of the product in the Big Ten doesn't matter because if you look at the bottom third of the conference, like Purdue, Northwestern, I mean, who would ever thought Rutgers is better than Purdue and Indiana is a 10-win team? What parallel universe are we living in?
Exactly.
Not to jump out of turn here, but Alex Grinch is back on the higher list.
I saw that. Where did he go today?
I potentially UCF.
That's right. Hold on one sec, dude.
Yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that, Dave. UCLA and USC both get full shares, and then the Ducks and Washington get partial. It's one of those things that with the rev share and everybody's trying to secure their place at the table. But yeah, Alex Grinch is a I don't know how he keeps getting
getting jobs.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing personal, but that defense at USC was horrendous. It was just not anything that anybody wanted to see. I mean, it was tough to watch at times, but
Oh yeah, it was pretty putrid.
and they couldn't fit a run to save their life. But real quick, we'll go ahead and reset the show, and then we'll finish the Alex Grinch thing. But Rich, tell them about the tournament or the bracket challenge.
So the show we're doing a bracket challenge on ESPN. If anybody's interested, either DM Duke or Carter, and they'll send you the link. So the bracket challenge, you get to pick the opening round, then you'll pick the opening round going on to the next round. It's kind of like basically March Madness. It's a $20 buy-in. It's winner take all. Just Venmo me if you're interested in playing. Yeah, I mean, I know I've changed my bracket like multiple times. My dad signed up; he's doing it. I got a friend from Florida; she's doing it. A couple other people. So I think right now, there's about 10 or 11 people in our bracket challenge on the ESPN app.
Gotcha. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait for the college football to playoff. We got Notre Dame, Indiana Friday night, and then we got a slate of games on Saturday. But with that being said, we got 112 people in here. If you want to come on over from Twitter and hop on and join the conversation, hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow this show. That would be much appreciated. But with that being said,
speaking of Indiana Notre Dame, did you see that corgi with the basketball? Like,
no,
I saw he I don't know, one of the owners or whatever threw like one of the basketballs in, two baskets, Indiana Notre Dame, and the dog would like hit it. The corgi would hit with its nose and it bounce off the wall and it would land in like either the basket for Notre Dame or Indiana, and went in Indiana's basket 3 times, and they selected Indiana as the winner.
Yeah, the corgi was doing it for the March Madness thing, but it's a interesting endeavor. Any final thoughts on our Alex Grinch hire?
We'll see how he does with Scott Frost down at UCF.
Yeah, I think this might be a little bit of a redemption tour for Scott Frost.
Who'd they hire as their OC? It wasn't Gus?
No, Gus Malzahn is at Florida State, but
I knew they signed. I saw that they signed somebody. I mean, it's every day there's somebody new getting hired or somebody new in the portal.
Right. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting time, and we'll circle back full circle here. I think the media people owe Justin Fields an apology in Chicago.
I think they do. That performance. I mean, I was watching both games last night, and Caleb Williams looks completely worse than Justin Fields. Completely worse. I mean, Troy Aikman was saying he's basically got to go in the offseason and study film and break down coverages because he's not cutting it, basically, in layman's terms.
Scott Cooper is the UCF offensive lineman. But yeah, the Fields thing is wild to me. I cannot. I cannot. When it comes to the Fields thing, it's so off-putting because they had an opportunity they had two top 10 picks, and they could have done things that solidified the offensive line. They could have got players to fill some of the big issues. I was looking at it tonight. Caleb Williams has been sacked 56 times. If he gets that is pushing David Carr numbers. David Carr was sacked.
He was sacked a lot his rookie year. I remember that.
76 times, Caleb Williams at 56 times. And I think that, that's an overall development problem with the NFL. I mean, I'm not saying it's like, the Deshaun Watson thing, but you got to remember Deshaun Watson didn't play a game for like 16 months.
I mean, those are almost Tim Couch numbers too.
Yeah, and everything that has gone on and transpired through this, I just don't see how the NFL fixes their quarterback problem. The quarterback issues are bad. You have because they're playing these kids way too early. I think in Denver it's working out, but not everybody has a Sean Payton.
Yeah, not everybody has that. I mean, it's like comparing apples to oranges. You can't. It's different situations, different coaches, different schemes, and everything. I mean, hats off for Bo Nix going. He's got a QB guru in Sean Payton. I mean, look what he did with Drew Brees for 14 years down in the Big Easy.
Yeah.
So
what's up, Brennan?
Brennan, what's up, my man?
Yeah, it's
But Duke, don't you think the quarterback play though from the rookies of the last, I would say, 10 years has been piss poor?
Oh, the hit rate on a first round quarterback has been the worst. I think because of how the offenses have changed in the last 10 years, there's guys barely throwing for 250 yards. Like Sam Darnold is a legit MVP candidate. And it's not a dig at Sam Darnold. He went to the worst two organizations in the league, and
that is right.
And I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but when you have more head coaches and offensive coordinators than you got, fingers and toes, at some point something's got to give. And like the Bryce Young thing, I think they're on the verge of completely ruining that kid's career.
Oh, 100%. Even though Canales, kind of resurrected Geno Smith's career in Seattle, and when he came to Tampa last year, and Baker got his swag back. I don't think it's going to work out for Bryce. The kid's too short. He's 5'9". He can't see over the line. He can't get under center.
I don't even think it's a height issue. I think it's a player development thing. Carolina has nothing. They have no receivers. It's so bad there. I just don't know. I just don't know how they can try to get it figured out. They're going nowhere fast. And
well, as a Bucs fan, I'm loving it. So let them be dumpster fires.
You have that, and then that whole AFC South is rough. I mean, the Saints somehow keep winning games. Derek Carr, he's got a bad contract. That whole division. I know we don't talk much NFL on here,
right?
But,
yeah.
The Fields thing is. I hope the Steelers keep Fields.
I hope they do too. I hope when Russ decides to hang it up, they turn to him, because they were 4-2 starting the year off. I really want Justin to excel in the NFL, because there's that mantra: Ohio State quarterbacks don't do shit in the NFL. Well, I would love for Justin to prove that wrong.
Yeah, so we'll see where Justin Fields' career takes off to. But with that being said, let's get to the topic du jour. Mike Vrabel to Ohio State. I don't know. Dan Orlowski was being ominous about it. I've seen things where he's the lead candidate for the Chicago Bears. Does Vrabel want to go to the NCAA? What are your thoughts on the Vrabel to Ohio State?
I think Vrabel stays in the NFL. He's not coming to Columbus. As much as Ohio State fans want him back in Columbus, he's even said it that he does not want to coach in college. I don't see it happening. he's got to play general manager. He's got to be a recruiter. He's got to do all this other stuff that comes with the job. In the NFL, you don't have to work. You just coach and delegate, and you don't. You're dealing with grown men essentially. I mean, you're dealing with grown men.
Yeah, just go back and watch it, Brennan. Yeah, the whole
And the salary. I mean, don't forget the salary cap. So they got to negotiate contracts and franchise tags and restricted tags and do trade. Get draft prep ready for in the next month. It's versus having to be on the road all the time, recruiting kids and making pitches to them and promise them X, Y, and Z.
I'm torn on this because I see how it completely on some instances like it would make sense to where like it wouldn't work at all. And then I see other instances like, this could work if you think about it, but
I mean, do you think Ryan Day has a contingency plan in case things go south on Saturday?
oh, I 100% do.
I think somebody's going to be calling him from the NFL if it goes south Saturday.
Not for a head job, for an OC job.
No, for an OC job. Well, maybe OC, maybe a head coach. You never know.
I don't know.
Maybe the Jets, even though they're as bad as they've been for the last 25 years.
I don't know. I think if I'm Ryan Day, I just sit it out and go do TV if I get fired.
Yeah.
There has to be a be all end all, and we kind of it's a little bit of an issue that Ryan Day's up against it per se. I don't know where Ohio State turns if they decide to move on.
I don't either. Like my mind, I can't think of anybody where they go.
And you have that going on. There's no. And Ross Bjorkis came out and said that he fully expects Ryan Day to be back next year. So I don't think they make a move.
I don't think they do either. As much as the fans in Columbus are calling for his job, I don't think it happens. I don't think it will unless maybe after next year if the expectations aren't met, then yeah, I think they'll cut bait.
Well, I mean, for me, it's that you can't when you have a $20 million roster, which I don't know why anybody told anybody anything about that. I thought that was piss poor management on the athletic department's doing because I don't think you should tell what you're paying kids.
No, you got to keep that stuff in house because it'll backfire you if you don't deliver, and it has. The people up north they're saying all that for $20 million.
Yeah, I just think the people that write the checks at Ohio State is it's a big deal. I think when you're dealing with a lot of yeah, Brendan, that does. I mean, they had Quinn Ewers starting. Producer Ed's getting a video punched up for us. I believe it's the Dan Orlowski thing. We'll see what some of the people take out of this, but I think it's a non-answer.
I can't hear anything.
Producer Ed.
Ed, put the capicola sandwich down.
Yeah, Ed's, back there slugging the salami.
Have a
Maybe.
deal.
I think Vrabel's spoken for.
Oh,
What do you mean?
what's that mean?
Married? He is married, right?
He is married.
I think he's married.
Spoken for how?
What do you mean?
Where?
I just think that
Break it.
Vrabel's probably got a very clear sight and path with where he is going to be likely coaching.
Where?
College or pro?
Say it.
He's saying Ohio State.
He'll be coaching football.
I don't know. I think no.
I don't doubt that he ain't going to be coaching football. I doubt where it's going to be.
Exactly. Yeah, I doubt exactly where it's going to be. He'll be coaching somewhere.
Here's the thing. When it comes to this, the Vrabel stuff, I don't think that the new age parents are going to like his approach to some things, and I think you're going to see the culture clash in North Carolina, because I feel like Belichick's going to, you'll have some parent. Do you think Belichick's going to take a meeting from a parent that says it's, Johnny needs more playing time, and Belichick is going to pull the, we don't even really want you, just go ahead and hit the portal. I believe a lot of those conversations are going to happen. Are they right, wrong, or unjust? I don't know. I mean, when you're paying the kids, I mean, it gives you the right to, have them hit the bricks. I think that.
See, I don't think Vrabel will want to deal with that. He won't want to deal with parents coming in. Hey, you need to play Jimmy over here. He's on this deal and he's hardly getting any snaps. Vrabel ain't gonna deal with that shit. He's gonna want to go to the NFL where he knows how to evaluate the talent and put the best 11 on both sides of the ball.
Well,
because he's been there.
The one thing I'll push back on is that you got Bill Belichick in college. If Bill Belichick's willing to try it, I think some of these other guys will be willing to try it. And especially if you think about, Vrabel stepping into Ohio State, a lot of people think it's going to be a disaster. I don't think it'll be a disaster as what on some of the things that they say it's going to be. I think it'll be a disaster for, kids not getting motherfucked in meetings.
These kids got to get thick skin because the world ain't no sunshine and rainbows.
And I think that's why the majority of them, either don't make the NFL or they fizzle out.
But that's the thing though, Duke. Like, these parents are holding these kids' hands and they're 18, 19 years old. For Christ's sake, they're adults. Let them be adults. You don't need to be interfering with every little thing and having a say in everything. They're helicopter parents.
Oh,
and that's today's generation. Like with my girls, I ain't no helicopter parent. I'll tell you that. I hold my kids accountable. When my daughter makes a mess, I'm like, hey, you clean that up right now. I ain't cleaning it up. And the thing is, these kids they've been built up. They've been superstars since high school. Their ego's so built up. Like you were all county, you were all state. Like, don't let them talk to you like that. Like, their ego is so inflated. Like, they're like, well, fuck this. Like, I'll go somewhere else. Like, they take the easy way out. That's the thing. You can't take the easy way out in life. It's bullshit. Like,
yeah, we'll get the reset right now. On the other side of the reset, I just feel like, the Ohio State brand with, you have the parents, you have, Sanchez's dad throwing the tweet out there today. The fan base is super, super toxic. It's not it's not for the faint of heart. I'm glad as some of these people that are on Twitter, I'm glad a lot of them don't play because they would just roll over and die, I think. But with that being said, we got the bracket challenge, the Andre Duke Show bracket challenge for the college football playoff. If you want that, hit us up. If you want to be in that, we got about 10 or 12 people in there. It's $20. We're Venmo and Richie, winner take all. So there's no BS. We'll have that coming up. We'll shoot you the password if you want to join. If you want to join the football bracket challenge, and then also we got 152 people in here. If you guys could come on over and hit the like and subscribe button, that would help us out a ton. Like up the video and hit the subscribe button. Really gets us going in the algorithm, and we're trying to blow this thing up. So, with that being said, we got the Vrabel stuff. For the big thing for me is that there's a lot of people that keep on saying he's not coming, he's not doing this.
He said he's not coming. He said, I swear, he said he doesn't. He said he's like, nope, I'm not coming to college.
Yeah. Thanks, Brennan. And Carter chimes in. Should Notre Dame wear black uniforms Friday?
What will the old heads of Notre Dame's have to say about that?
I don't know. Notre Dame has, they've changed the uniform, I think, more this year than they have ever. Like, they wore the white pants at USC. They wore the navy in navy and white pants against Georgia Tech. I think they're going to come out in like their normal uniforms. And then when they come out of the tunnel, they're going to be wearing something different.
I love it because I'm a uniform like junkie when it comes to that stuff, and I think it'd be cool for Notre Dame to have blackout. Well, you think the helmet will be blacked out, or do you think it's going to be a gold helmet?
I think it'll be a gold helmet. I don't think that on this, but I could definitely see them hitting it up and changing it.
I hope they do. I think it'll look slick, especially come Friday night. I can't wait to see them.
And I'll be interested. I don't think Indiana's going to wear anything out of the ordinary.
No,
I think
they'll probably go all white with the red helmet.
Yeah, I think Indiana will probably keep it pretty traditional, but I wouldn't be shocked if Notre Dame has something up the sleeve to do it to kick off the playoffs, right?
I'm thinking. I think they'll have I think it'll be all black with a gold shamrock on decals.
Yeah, whatever it is Under Armour's keeping it under wraps. Lock and key. And yes, they should is at 67%. So a lot of people want to see the black unis. I would like to see it. The gold, and then Ohio State's wearing the all scarlets as well. I don't know,
but they're not wearing the gray sleeves though, which is their traditional playoff uniform, their playoff jersey, which I don't understand why they weren't doing that. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I don't know why they're not wearing the gray sleeves. It's
bullshit.
A lot of really strange stuff going on down there in Buckeye Land.
Yeah. I just wish they would still keep making those pro combat unis like they did back in the early 2009 was the first year? Yeah. I wish they would still keep making something like that. I mean, what? It's Ohio State. Like you got to give if you want to attract kids, you kind of gotta pull a page out of the playbook from Oregon and start doing that shit.
Me personally, I think Ohio State should have wore the black jerseys, but
I agree with you. They should have gone all black, or at least wore the black helmet, or the black helmet with the black socks and the red pants and jersey.
yeah, I get what Brendan's saying here. I'm just glad they're not wearing green because of the Kelly greens are just like they never win when they wear them ever.
What's the weather supposed to be like in South Bend?
Let me look. I think the yeah, I agree with Carter too.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
29 in snow. I think you're gonna get a big loss of Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love on Friday night. I think that is. I'm calling that now. I think Notre Dame tries to run for at least 300 yards. I just don't feel Indiana can hold up in the trench. Some of the trolls out there that I've seen are, well, remember Northern Illinois, and it's just like
different team. It was a different team 2 months ago. Throw that shit out of the book. Just stop.
Yeah, it's a totally different team. I think that some of the things that Notre Dame's going to do well. I think that they're going to have a huge. I think Indiana's going to have a huge issue trying to get.
It's going to be a tall task for them. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the bookmakers still over-unders 51.5. IU is a 7-point dog on the road, so
I think Marcus is going to unleash the dogs on Indiana.
Yeah, I will say that the two things that Indiana and Notre Dame have in common is they both hung a 60 burger on Purdue.
Well, I think me, you, and Carter could hang 60 on Purdue.
I don't.
I know.
I think it's going to change since they have Barry Odom. I think it's going to be a slow rebuild, but if you go back and look at the ton of kids that they got, or a ton of kids that they got that left the portal. It was unbelievable, but we'll see how that turns out. But that is a cold, snowy night in South Bend. Another interesting. We got the Memphis West Virginia game kicking off. I don't know if Rich Rod's coaching the bowl game tonight or not.
I bet you. I mean, he's definitely on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. I didn't see anything on Twitter. Nothing.
Yeah. So Rich Rod coming back. One of the other things is Nico going to have a big game against Ohio State?
I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going to happen Saturday. What do you think is going to happen?
I really don't know either. I think we pretty much know how the Notre Dame story is going to be wrote. Ohio State is the biggest wild card of the playoff weekend. I think.
Right.
Do you have the Vrabel stuff? You have the Ryan Day stuff. You have
Chip Kelly finally taking responsibility for the game plan several weeks ago. There's a lot of crap going on down there.
I think that the game plan and all that starts and stops with one person. I know it's tough for some people to fathom or stomach that. It's just unbelievable, and I think Rhett Lashley's comments on the December portal were also really good. To sum it up, he just completely called it terrible. I think the portal should only be open one time a year, and it's after spring ball. I don't
Yeah, essentially like college football or NFL free agency period. I would agree with that.
because it would be the same time, and I think getting rid of spring football would solve a lot of the issue, because the 15 practices you have in the spring and then you're off for 2 months. Why not extend training camp, or have OTAs in June or July before camp starts? Have the 15 practices then for 3 weeks. That's just my opinion. I got it's one of those deals that I feel like they could do so much more to work the calendar to make it better for the coaches, and they
Right.
just like refuse to do it.
Well, some of these I know it takes a toll on these coaches, and you got to feel for these coaches.
Yeah, I just don't know how they get to the point, because it's 24/7. It's you're constantly negotiating and renegotiating contracts. Like the offseason, there was a coach that said he had to talk to 49 players to redo money deals.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And I think that Neil McCready said it best. He said, if you knew the amount of kids that are walking in coaches' offices asking for $1 million, it would make your hair fall out. If you look at what Jackson Arnold got, I mean, the guy AJ.
What was his number?
What do you think he got?
I think he got 2.5.
Oh yeah, he's getting paid. He's getting paid more than Will Howard, and
Will Howard's only making what, 6 figures?
No, he's making $1 million.
Is he making $1 million?
Yeah, Will Howard is, but the Jackson Arnold stuff, and a lot of the people in the media think it's so taboo to talk about the numbers. Well, when Ohio State put their numbers out, it's you see the bot not developed thing.
Yep.
Surface.
Yep. I think maybe Ohio State might have learned their lesson not to share that with the masses and just keep it close to the vest.
Yeah, that's
stupid. So stupid.
Why
are you putting? Because if that goes, I was thinking about that all year. I'm like, if something doesn't go right, you're going to be hearing people talk all this type of shit on Twitter and everywhere. Oh, 20 million! Look what it got! Look where it got you.
Yeah, the 20 million thing is I think it's interesting, and for some of those schools now, that's going to be the standard, and it's going to be a drop in the bucket. Kirk Cousins benched Carter coming out of left field. Michael Penix is going to be the starter in Atlanta.
I just hope they lose every game the rest of the year, so Tampa can lock up their 4th division title in a row.
Well, when you got 3 teams that can't play dead in the Western, it's pretty easy to win that division. I mean, it's like you're playing against 3 other Cleveland Browns organizations.
You got that right. Well, how about Tampa Bay putting up a 40 burger on Jesse Minter and I'm on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got somebody joining me.
Oh, Quinn.
Yeah. 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 How about that? Jesse Minter being the guru that he was up there in Ann Arbor, and yes, it's a different animal with the NFL, but my boy Mike Evans, man, he had 2 tutties that night.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to the NFL and they want to get all over the coordinators and all of that, I don't think it's as easy as what they think it's going to be. The guys that come from the NFL to college struggle more. Yeah, 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Mike Evans. Yeah, that's
He needs like 200 plus yards to get it. And there's, what week are we on? 16?
15. I believe there's 3 games.
3 games left. I mean, he can still do it. I hope he does.
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can get it done. Outside of the compelling bowl matchup tonight, who you like tonight, West Virginia or Memphis?
I'm gonna go Mountaineers tonight.
Yeah,
I want to see how they do performing in front of their new head coach, Rich Rod, and see if they ball out.
Yeah, I thought the way they introduced Rich Rod on the McAfee show, and then everything's kind of coming full circle, and he, basically says, I should have never left, and
yeah.
That could be used in coaching studies for years to come. A guy had a Power 5 program at the time rolling.
Yeah, they were from when because I was in college that year when he was at West Virginia. Was it? I think they were number 2.
Yeah, when they lost,
they were pretty high.
And they lost to Pitt at home.
Didn't they lose to USF too?
No, they lost to Pitt at home in the backyard brawl rivalry weekend. McAfee missed a key field goal.
Laces out, baby.
So that's that. But with all that, the Vrabel stuff, the last thing I have on the Vrabel thing is that, obviously you can't sleep on it, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, for years, we've heard coaches say, yeah, I'm not taking that job. Nick Saban to the Dolphins, Bobby Petrino to the Falcons, and then to Arkansas, and then Saban to Alabama,
Yeah. Man, I remember when Petrino was there. He was arguing with D'Angelo Hall on the sidelines. He was getting cussed out by him. I remember that.
Yeah, the Bobby Petrino NFL experience did not work. Although great offensive mind, Harley Ryder not so much. But
yeah. His neck cast.
That is one of the most fascinating press conferences I've ever seen. If you go back and watch the full press conference, it's just very interesting. So, but we got 177 people in here. Hit the like and subscribe button and help us out. It'll go a long way with the algorithm. We need a tiebreaker on the vote. Carter needs 1 vote to sway it either way. He's very interested in the poll on what the people have to say. We got the the bracket challenge, the Andre Duke Show bracket challenge on ESPN. Hit one of us up for the
link and the password.
The link and the password. I had a brain fog for a second.
That's all right. It's
hit
Monday.
us up. Yeah. Hit us up for that. We got shows going the rest of the week. Probably sometime Saturday. I know Monday's going to be a big show after the first weekend of the college football playoff. With all that being said, thanks for riding with us for the majority of the season. Appreciate everybody, but if you can hit that like and subscribe button, helps us tremendously. And Rich, you got anything else?
No, I just hope everybody has a great night. Hopefully, everybody can join our bracket challenge. I'm looking forward to see how well I do with my picks and everything, and see if I can get somebody right.
Yeah. So with that being said, everybody have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.